A couple of cases went before the United States Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court that indeed the Second Amendment was an individual civil right, and that you had the right to keep a handgun in your home for self-defense. Massachusetts, we've now challenged some of our gun laws in Massachusetts as a result of Heller McDonald. For those of you who don't know, the gun laws were changed in Massachusetts in 1998, called the Gun Control Act of 1998. 1998, we had 1.5 million licensed gun owners. 11 years later, whatever it is now, 13 years later, we're down to about 230. In the same time period, the licensed gun ownership has dropped by over 85%. Gun crime is up 220%. You know what their answer is? Now's not the time to get weak on guns, so we don't want to change those gun laws. The problem is in Massachusetts, what we are trying to challenge using Heller McDonald, United States Supreme Court rulings, that the Second Amendment is now indeed civil rights. 1976, Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court, our bicentennial, in a case called Commonwealth v. Davis, actually ruled that there is no right to keep and bear arms in Massachusetts, that right is a right of the state, not of the individual. We've been trying to knock that case down now for over 30 years. Finally, we said, Heller and McDonald, we got an opportunity here. Anybody heard of an old case called Crookshank? Get a chance next week or so, do a search on the computer on the Colfax courthouse massacre in Louisiana. Crookshank. Colfax courthouse massacre was I think it took place in 1875. And the courthouse was a polling place for the voting at that time. And it was being protected by 100 freed black men, 100 freedmen. They were descended upon by the Klan, and every single man was murdered. Disarmed and murdered. They were finding bodies all over the countryside for the next week. The case went all the way up to the United States Supreme Court on Second Amendment and First Amendment violations. And the court actually ruled against them and in favor of the Klan, and said there is no protections under the Second or First Amendment from a state or from individuals. It's only a protection against the federal government. Okay? Now speed up to just the past couple of years, Heller and McDonald. On a couple of minor cases, we went to court and tried to make a few minor changes in Massachusetts gun law. Both the Massachusetts Attorney General and our highest court in the state ruled that because neither Heller nor McDonald specifically overruled Crookshank, that Crookshank is still the law of the land in Massachusetts. The liberal bastion of Massachusetts is using the murder of 100 freed men in 1875 to base their stance on a Second Amendment civil right. Why that isn't all over the front page of the Boston Globe, the Boston Herald, and every news agency out there is beyond me. Because I guarantee you, if the minority community knew the truth behind that, Martha Coakley would have not just lost the Senate race, she would have had to move to Saskatchewan or someplace. She'd be in the Witness Protection Program. It is ridiculous on its face. But that is how Massachusetts is trying to keep us down.